Hi students, welcome to week 9. This week you're working on your ARP, but we are going to shift our conversation to discuss the symposium project. So, in this video, I will tell you a little bit more about the symposium, and I'll talk to you about the tool that you're going to be using to compose your project, Adobe Spark. I'll also offer you a brief review on MLA formatting because some of you mentioned in the discussion forum that you're not sure what you're missing, so I will go over that with you. And of course, the last thing we'll talk about are your assignments for the week. Your symposium presentation is a presentation of some aspect of your research that's been remixed for a public audience. You will not be able to present your entire research paper in the symposium, so you'll just take a slice. You may recall in week 2 you looked at a few sample symposium presentations. Now these were created in Prezi. You're going to be using Adobe Spark, so the format's going to be a little bit different. You'll actually have a little bit more freedom in Adobe Spark because it has more features. So if we take a look at one of these symposium presentations, I've muted them, but they all have a voiceover, so make sure you turn your volume up. You can see that students paired slides with their voiceover to describe some aspect of the research. Like I said, you won't be able to do your entire research project, just small pieces. You don't want it to be text heavy. Note that there are only a few words on each slide, and you really want to rely on images and voice to communicate most of your ideas. As for particulars of the English 1110 Symposium presentation, you'll have two components. You'll have your image slides and your text, and they will be assessed separately. So I'm going to click on this text assignment to look at the details. Let's see. So the presentation itself, you're going to create 15 images. And for every image, you're going to have 50 to 65 words to discuss that image. Be sure you do not go over those image and word counts. So those are the images and words. Now, when it's time to submit the symposium, you're going to post it on the weekly discussion forum. And this week's discussion forum will be a little bit different. You will be put into smaller discussion groups so that you don't have to respond to the entire class's symposiums. And you're going to have a conversation about each symposium presentation and provide some feedback, really demonstrating deep critical engagement with that person's presentation. And of course, you've been working on the process posts the whole time. If you have questions about the symposium presentation, of course, bring them up on the discussion forum so everyone can benefit from the answers. Adobe Spark is a dynamic platform that is free online, and it will help you create your symposium presentation. You can create an account for free, or you can sign in with your Google account or your Facebook account. So to get started, you'll hit this plus button at the top, and then you'll click on Video to create a new video project. We'll give it a title. You can change it later. And you're going to start from scratch. It's going to be easier than using one of these templates. You can walk through this tutorial if you'd like. I encourage you to. I'll show you some of the features briefly. So this is your workspace here, and you can choose to add video, text, photo, or icon. Right here you can choose how you create the layout. So I might put a title in here, and then I just hit the plus buttons and add some text. If you would like to play with themes, there are several different themes, so you can change the colors that your project is displayed in. And you can also add music. There's a lot of free music that you can use without having to attribute it. So I encourage you to experiment with Adobe Spark, play, and have fun, and create your symposium project. When writing in MLA format, make sure you're using 12-point Times New Roman font and your margins are 1 inch all the way around. Some of you still have the default 1.25-inch margins from Microsoft Word, so make sure you check that and change it if necessary. Make sure the whole paper is also double spaced. In the top left corner, you should have your name, my name, the class, and the date. Some of you are missing some of those elements, so make sure you have all 4 of them. Top right corner, you should have your last name and the page number, and this should appear on each page. At the top of the first page, you should have a title, and the title should in some way be descriptive of the paper. It should not just be the name of the assignment, but it should be something that tells me a little bit about what your paper is going to be about. Your Works Cited page comes at the end of the paper. You'll have all of your entries with a hanging indent and Works Cited listed at the top centered. You do not need to number these Works Cited entries. If you need more information on how to create this hanging indent, you can find it on the Purdue OWL. As for assignments this week, you don't have much that's due. In fact, all you have is the discussion forum. Keep in mind that you have another process post coming up, and you should continue to work on your ARP and your symposium. I also want to offer you an invitation. Some of you mentioned on the discussion forum that you were feeling uncertain about your thesis or portions of your project. If you feel uncertain, feel free to send me a draft of what you're working on with specific questions, and I'll do my best to give you some focused feedback that will help you move forward. And it looks like Mosey wants to say hello this week too, so I'll introduce you to her real quick. This is my cat. She gets in the way. She's very sweet. All right, I look forward to seeing you on the discussion forum.